In the quiet village of Smiljan, nestled within the mountains of the Austrian Empire, a boy named Nikola was born during a lightning storm. From his earliest days, he was not like the other children. While they played games in the fields, Nikola was captivated by the unseen forces of the world, his mind a whirlwind of questions and ideas. Nikola's mother, Duca Mandik, was a woman of remarkable intellect and creativity. Though she could not read, she possessed a photographic memory and a talent for inventing household appliances. She saw the same inventive spark in her son and nurtured his curiosity, encouraging him to explore the world with an open and inquisitive mind. One night, a ferocious thunderstorm raged over Smiljan. While others sought shelter, Nikola stood mesmerized at a window, watching as bolts of lightning tore across the inky black sky. He felt not fear, but a profound connection to the raw, untamed power of the electricity that danced before his eyes. At 17, Nikola was struck down by cholera and lingered near death for months. His father, a Serbian Orthodox priest, had always intended for him to join the clergy. But seeing his son's passion for science, he made a solemn promise. If Nikola recovered, he would be sent to the finest engineering school. True to his word, Nikola's father sent him to the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz. There he excelled, his mind absorbing complex theories with ease. He became fascinated with the direct current motors demonstrated in his classes, but he saw their flaws, the inefficient and spark-prone commutators. When Nikola suggested the possibility of an alternating current motor, his professor dismissed the idea as impossible, a perpetual motion machine. The ridicule from his professor and classmates did not deter Nikola. It only fueled his determination to prove them wrong. After university, Nikola found work at the Continental Edison Company in Paris. His brilliance was immediately apparent as he redesigned their inefficient dynamos, greatly improving their performance. Yet, his mind was still consumed with the problem of alternating current. One evening in Budapest, while walking through a park with his friend Anthony Szigeti, the solution came to him in a flash of insight. As they recited poetry, the setting sun reminded him of a rotating magnetic field, and the entire principle of the AC motor unfolded in his mind. In that moment of inspiration, Nikola saw it all: the rotating magnetic field, the induction motor, the entire system of alternating current that would one day power the world. He had solved the puzzle that had consumed him for years, not in a laboratory, but in a flash of pure, unadulterated genius. With his groundbreaking ideas and a letter of recommendation to Thomas Edison, Nikola set his sights on America, the land of opportunity. He knew that to bring his vision to life, he would need the resources and the platform that only the New World could offer. The stage was set for a clash of titans. Upon arriving in New York in 1884, with little more than the clothes on his back and a head full of revolutionary ideas, Nikola Tesla made his way to the workshop of the man he both admired and hoped to challenge, Thomas Edison. The Wizard of Menlo Park was skeptical of the young Serb's grand theories about alternating current, but he recognized a formidable intellect and offered him a job improving his direct current dynamos. Tesla threw himself into his work, redesigning Edison's inefficient motors and generators with remarkable speed and skill. He worked day and night, driven by the promise of a $50,000 bonus if he could solve a particularly vexing series of engineering problems. When he succeeded, Edison refused to pay, callously remarking, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." The betrayal was a bitter pill, and Tesla, a man of principle, resigned immediately. After a difficult period, which included digging ditches to survive, Tesla's fortunes changed. He found a patron in George Westinghouse, a shrewd industrialist who was Edison's chief rival in the burgeoning electrical industry. Unlike Edison, Westinghouse listened intently to Tesla's vision for alternating current and saw its immense potential to transmit power over long distances, something DC current could not do efficiently. What followed was the infamous War of the Currents. Edison, desperate to protect his DC empire, launched a vicious propaganda campaign to paint alternating current as a deadly menace. He publicly electrocuted stray animals using AC, a gruesome spectacle designed to stoke public fear and discredit his rivals. The tide turned at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. Westinghouse, using Tesla's AC system, underbid Edison to illuminate the entire exposition. The result was a breathtaking spectacle of light and power that dazzled the world. The City of Light, as it was called, was a triumphant vindication for Tesla and a decisive victory in the War of the Currents. The ultimate validation of Tesla's system came at Niagara Falls. The commission tasked with harnessing the immense power of the falls chose Westinghouse and Tesla's polyphase AC system over all others. For the first time, the raw power of nature was tamed to generate electricity that would power cities hundreds of miles away, realizing a childhood dream for Tesla. But Tesla's ambition did not stop with power grids. He dreamed of a world connected wirelessly, where information and energy could be transmitted through the air. In 1899, he built a mysterious experimental station in Colorado Springs to explore the outer limits of high-voltage electricity, convinced he could use the Earth itself as a conductor. Backed by the immense wealth of financier J.P. Morgan, Tesla began his most ambitious project, the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. This colossal structure was to be the first broadcast station in a world wireless system, capable of transmitting messages, pictures, and even electrical power to any point on the globe without wires. But the dream was not to be. When Morgan realized that Tesla's system was designed to provide free wireless energy for all, a concept antithetical to his business model, he abruptly withdrew his financial support. Without funding, construction halted, and Tesla's grand vision for a connected world crumbled, leaving him financially ruined and professionally isolated. In his final years, Nikola Tesla lived a reclusive life in a New York hotel, his mind still teeming with ideas, but his name largely forgotten by the public. He was a man out of time, a visionary whose genius had illuminated the world, yet who died in relative obscurity. His legacy, however, is woven into the very fabric of our modern electrical age, a testament to the spark of a genius who dared to dream of the impossible. The collapse of the Wardenclyffe project was a blow from which Tesla would never fully recover. The tower, his monument to a wirelessly connected world, stood as a skeletal ruin, a constant reminder of his greatest failure. Professionally ostracized and financially destitute, the brilliant inventor began to withdraw from the world, his public star dimming as the 20th century marched on without him. In 1915, rumors flew that Tesla and his old rival, Thomas Edison, were to be joint recipients of the Nobel Prize in Physics. However, the prize was ultimately awarded to others. The reasons remain debated, with many speculating that the animosity between the two inventors, and Tesla's own declaration that he would not accept a shared prize, led the committee to change its decision. It was another public slight in a growing list of professional disappointments. As the years passed, Tesla became an increasingly eccentric and reclusive figure in New York City. He moved from hotel to hotel, leaving behind a trail of unpaid bills. His obsessive-compulsive behaviors intensified. He was obsessed with the number 3 and developed a deep, almost spiritual connection with the city's pigeons, feeding them daily and even bringing injured ones back to his room to nurse them back to health. Of all the pigeons, one held a special place in his heart, a beautiful, pure white female. He claimed to love her as one loves a human being, and that she loved him in return. He spoke of a profound connection, believing she understood him. In a moment of mystical clarity, he claimed she visited him one night to tell him she was dying, a brilliant light shining from her eyes. Despite his isolation, Tesla continued to work. He periodically made sensational claims to the press, often around his birthday, announcing inventions that seemed to border on science fiction. The most famous of these was his Teleforce weapon, a particle beam projector that the press sensationally dubbed the Death Ray. He claimed it could destroy entire armies and would make war impossible, but he never produced a working prototype. Tesla lived out his final years in room 3327 of the Hotel New Yorker, his existence made possible by a modest pension from the Yugoslavian government. He was a familiar, ghost-like figure in the hotel's hallways, tall, gaunt, and always impeccably dressed, a relic of a bygone era. He subsisted on a diet of warm milk and crackers, his mind still racing with visions of the future, even as his body failed him. January 7th, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in his hotel room at the age of 86. The cause of death was coronary thrombosis. The maid, ignoring a "do not disturb" sign Tesla had placed on his door 2 days earlier, discovered his body. Thus, the man who had electrified the world departed in silence and solitude. Immediately following his death, the U.S. Office of Alien Property seized all of Tesla's belongings. His trunks, filled with decades of research notes, plans, and experimental data, were sealed and taken for examination by government intelligence agents. They were searching for details of his death ray, fearing his research might fall into enemy hands during the height of World War II. For decades after his death, Tesla's name faded into obscurity. But his genius could not be buried forever. In the late 20th century, a new generation of scientists and engineers began to rediscover his work. The scientific unit for magnetic flux density was named the Tesla in his honor, and his role as the true father of the modern electrical age was finally, and rightfully, acknowledged. Every time we flip a switch, listen to the radio, or connect to a Wi-Fi network, we are touching the legacy of Nikola Tesla. He was a poet of science, a man who saw the future with astonishing clarity. Though he died penniless and alone, his spark of genius never went out. It now illuminates the entire globe, a testament to a mind that was, and remains, truly electric.